Hi, this is Roma from Lucintel, bringing you all your favorite market insights and trends. And today we're talking about a pretty new, exciting technology, which is eVTOL, which stands for Electric Vertical Takeoff and Landing, which means this is a type of aircraft that using electricity is able to take off vertically. You know, a normal plane goes down the runway, has to take off, pick up. This can go straight up and down like a helicopter and is able to hover. So we got the chance to actually see Joby and Lilium's eVTOLs, which are cutting edge technology. And we're going to show you guys a bit of what the inside of the flight looks like and give you details on the actual technology that goes into that. But before that, we're going to give you some insights that we have found from our own research here at Lucintel. So the global eVTOL aircraft market is expected to reach around 4 billion in 2025 and is forecasted to grow at a 25% CAGR in the next 5 years to reach 12 billion in 2030, which is quite a large growth to see. And this is caused by numerous things, but big ones are increasing demand for green energy and noise-free aircraft. That will drive the eVTOL demand the most. This new trend of sustainability, how to help our Earth, this is something that's a strong push. And also the idea that it would reduce congestion at airports and is another driver as well. And this wouldn't be just used as an air taxi, for example. So Joby, their plan is to be used as an air taxi, but there are numerous other applications where we see that eVTOLs can be used within emergency management and response, goods delivery, and passenger mobility are the big potential markets for eVTOL aircrafts over this forecast period. In order to actually hit this potential and really drive the growth, something that needs to happen is that there needs to be the development of infrastructure such as vertiports as well as new surveillance technologies. And there also needs to be certification for regulatory authorities for commercialization of eVTOLs. So you'll see when we go check out Joby and Lilium, we'll talk a little bit more about the actual certifications needed and how that's a bit of an issue. So yes, today I'll only be taking you in to see Joby and Lilium's eVTOLs. These are not the only ones in the market. For example, Boeing is working on a passenger air vehicle and cargo air vehicle eVTOL prototype, and Airbus is also working on the City Airbus eVTOL for UAM. So from what I've said so far, it kind of sounds like eVTOLs are just an electric version of a helicopter, but what's really the benefit? Why is this better? Well, eVTOLs are quieter and a cleaner mode of transportation. I don't know if you've been around a helicopter, but if you have, you'll know you're around one because of how much noise pollution there is. eVTOLs are 100 times quieter and are far cleaner because they run off of electricity or a hydrogen fuel cell, whatever it may be, these are electric. Here we can see a graph on the development timeline of eVTOLs. So we see from 2020 to 2025, manufacturers are testing prototypes, but commercialization is anticipated. And there's creators and operators and regulators all working together in order to figure out successful traffic management. So and then in 2025, 2030, we see the first phase of commercialization of passenger eVTOLs. And this is seen by companies like Joby and Lilium, who announced by 2024 they plan to be fully certified. And this is when we see the completion of the basic infrastructure and hopefully the advancements to make these cars safe and dependable. And then in 2030, we see hopefully the success of piloted vehicles will lead to autonomous passenger eVTOLs and increased usage, and will take us to a whole new level. And here we can see a chart that kind of shows how these startups for eVTOLs have been popping up kind of all over for some time now. So we see companies like Airspace, Embraer, Rolls-Royce, and the years that they've announced that they were coming up with some form of eVTOL, and how it's not all just electric or hydrogen, there's hybrid, there's electric, all of that. And also the number of rotors is shown as well, and the number of seats that each of these can handle. Speaking of number of seats in the vehicle, I think this is a perfect time to take you over to the actual eVTOL and show you what the inside looks like. Join us as we check out Joby and Lilium's interior and total flight and the details of how the technology really works.
Today we're here with Joby, which is one of the first eVTOL air taxis. So what is this and what are the benefits and what are the challenges? So Joby is trying to launch pretty soon. And this is a completely zero-emission electric plane. There are 4 batteries in total in this plane. And you think electric batteries are usually pretty heavy, so how are you able to put it in a plane? Well, they've made it work. We'll show you the batteries in a sec. And a big way they combated the weight is with the materials they used to make the plane. So see all of this white, this whole material? This is all carbon composite. So it is extremely lightweight and durable. All of this. Only but a few materials in this are made out of metal, and that's when they're very necessary. But all of this is carbon composites, so it is extremely lightweight. And as you can see, there's able to be 4 passengers, and then also the pilot. So what is kind of the point of this, besides being zero emission? So you know how you book a Uber on your phone, you can call it to come whenever? This plans to be very similar, because it's an air taxi, meaning you can order it and it can pick you up and take you to where you need. For example, it takes someone usually 45 minutes to an hour to get from JFK to Manhattan. This thing will take you in 7 minutes. So that is kind of pretty important. Imagine you book a first class ticket at JFK and you need to get there pretty soon. And rather than getting a limo that would come and get you, this is pretty competitive pricing with an Uber Black for that same distance. But it'll get you there in 1/4 the time, even faster, 7 minutes. So we're trying to see what cities this can come to and how soon this can launch. And what are the challenges it's kind of facing is there's a lot of regulations, right? They have to pass all the FAA, and each part of this plane is so new and hasn't been used by any plane. So they have to pass a lot of regulatory issues with the FAA. So right now they're trying to get that to happen. But in terms of investors and having customers, it's doing pretty great. But this plane will not be for sale. They will be working with companies, and the company, they can sell it and they can rebrand it, make it their own. But the plane itself, they will not be selling. So let's see if maybe we can book one of these in the next year or 2. So we talked about how there's 4 battery packs in this total flight, right? And what is a battery pack though? It's a combination of 7 of these. So to make one single battery pack, you need 7 of these. So there's a total of 28 battery modules in the whole thing. And these are 235 watt-hours per kilogram. And that makes this plane go up to 100 miles, which sounds like nothing, right? But think about the Tesla. The first model was like 100, then it went to 200, 300. It developed pretty fast, and right now the 100 miles is doing the job it needs to. Go within cities, this is perfect. And look, these aren't too big, and like I said, because electric vehicle batteries tend to be pretty heavy, they need to save it through materials. So here's a graphic perfectly where we can see how each one of these battery modules actually sit. So 7 sit in each of the wings, and then the other 7 sit on the propulsion unit that's off of the wing.
Now we head over to check out the Lilium, which is what we're stepping inside right now. As you see, there's quite a different interior. And currently we are sitting in the Lilium, the 4-passenger seat, eVTOL, completely electric. This thing can go up to 175 miles, has 10 batteries that are all on the side, but barely take up any space. And this thing, I'll show you the outside, has wings, and it looks like they only go this way. But you can also, the wings turn sideways and you're able to go vertically, and it can go up to 220 kilometers per hour, I believe. And they're looking to get FAA certified within the next year, and they plan on selling this to different consumers. So you could buy this, and then it would come with a private maintenance, so they would keep up with maintenance and help with the plane itself. But this thing is pretty crazy. It's very big, and it has 15 times less noise pollution than a helicopter. And it's pretty insane, right? Because we saw the Joby, which was also an eVTOL, but that one wasn't looking to be sold. That one was more for an air taxi, and that one only had 7 battery packs, and it had 6 propulsion systems. But this doesn't have the same thing at all. I'll show you guys the wing. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the link below to read the full article on this topic and to see others like it, and to also gain access to our website where you can see our further capabilities in consulting and market research.